Option Trader back with you again with our Sunday night video. So let's get to it. Well, I was expecting a lot more volatility last week than we saw today, or saw this last week, with options expiration, the news coming out, the earnings news, and then just the economic news. Some better than expected, some worse than expected. I was actually surprised by Michigan sentiment. I expected that to be a little better than expected, and it came in worse than expected. So that to me is more bearish than just the number itself, because I was expecting a better number. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious. We're kind of still on a cusp, I think, of some things happening. We got a huge week this week of earnings. We got Apple on what is that, Monday after the close. We got Apple, we got Texas Instruments, so we got a lot of tech coming out. We've got restaurants, McDonald's and CMG coming out this week. We got SanDisk. We got a lot of earnings this week. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be brutal. I'm expecting big gaps after the close into the opens on both those days, maybe all week. It's a big, heavy earnings week. Everybody's kind of on the edge of their seat after Dow 10K to see if we're going to keep on going. One thing, article I read about, I'll try to put a link in it to the blog, is the Dow 10K in actual money, because of the devalue of the dollar, is actually about Dow 7500. I found that interesting. Let's get looking at charts. Okay, start with the VIX. The VIX broke through this support that I've been talking about. Very surprising to me, which I expect to be really bullish for the market. However, it wasn't super bullish. I mean, we actually had a down day, 67 points on Friday. An options expiration, granted, will probably mess this up a bit. But we kind of got a broadening pattern. I had to readjust here. We have a broadening pattern forming here, megaphone type pattern on this VIX. So watch it. If we start getting an up move, start breaking through, we probably break up into this 30 area before we see some real strong resistance. You know, we'll stall out here and here and here. If we break beneath this, obviously, I'll be looking for some pretty bullish market moves. Going on to the Dow. I looked through a lot of charts this weekend. Almost every chart I saw looked something like this. Any stock anywhere. This is darn near a tweezer top right here. Very close to it. Not exactly, as you can see yesterday. Thursday's move was a little bit lower. Friday's was a little bit higher. Friday's volume quite a bit higher than Thursday's volume. Not quite a bit, but we're looking at move down to here. We got 255 million here. We've got 307 million there. So kind of odd on a Friday, but it was an options expiration Friday. Friday's usually kind of a down day, but options expiration, it's normal. All right, so kind of almost a tweezer top, hanging man. Should signal a reversal. We should be looking for a down move here if we're looking strictly technical analysis, not earnings and stuff like that on the market. All right, then here we got same type of thing, except we had a little less of an up move. So the Dow, so the industrials moved up quite a bit more. There's quite a difference on the SPX. We did come down and close right on our uptrend line right here. All right, right on top of it is where we stopped. So this is obviously adding some support to any down move we got going on down here. So we're going to keep an eye on this. If this breaks, it could be a short break, like short-lived like it was here, where I thought we were really going to break to the downside and the bulls rallied us back up. So we're going to be watching this down move here, possibly down into this 1050 area or something like this. So let's see how that works out. We are, you know, right beneath Dow 10K now, so I guess close enough. 99, 95, 91. I mean, that's pretty stinking close. The NASDAQ still looks the most bearish of all of them to me. I mean, it looked bearish here. It looks bearish here. It looked primed for a reversal right here. It did not happen. In fact, it gapped up, and then we got a tweezer's top here, which I talked about on Thursday, and moved down. We did not stay down. So we have got a tight range right here, from here to here. So 2142 to 2165. We need to see a breakout one side or the other. I think it's pretty easy play. If we break out above 2165 with some volume, not just a touch above and back down like here, with some volume, I'd be looking to go long. If we break down beneath this 2142 with some volume, I'd be looking to go short the Qs. I am, disclosure, short the Qs right now. I have puts on the Qs. I bought them on Thursday night, and I'm holding them through the weekend. The Qs were down 28 cents on Friday. Not bad. You know, I have a little bit of gain on them right now, but we're going to hold them and see what happens with those. The Russell looks pretty bearish to me, too. I guess I went in too far. I got to keep these fib lines in here. You can see this. I'm using this fib line as my top up here. So you can see we hit it again. Then we broke down. It does not want to bust above here. But we're also finding support here on this downtrend line. Okay. So we'll be watching that. If we do break down, we're probably going to see support in this area, the 590, and probably 580, 575, and then all the way down this fib at the 550, 558. Or we could bounce off any of those. We could bounce off of the 50 moving average as well. Okay, so keep an eye on all this. It looks kind of weak. Looks like it's topping here. We double top type of thing here, moving down. So we'll see how it goes. But that's what I'm going to be watching for, is these tops. Moving down to some of this resistance. All right, so one more. I was going to show you the UUP, because the UUP I thought on Thursday looked like it was forming a tweezer bottom. Double bottom, tweezer bottom here. I thought it would gap up a lot harder through this. Found a lot of resistance at 2248, 2250 area, and that's where it kind of stalled out. It came up, came back down, and it closed beneath that. That's where it opened, closed beneath that a little bit. You can see we had some volatility on the dollar. So I don't know. I'd be looking for it to continue this up move here. I know there's a lot going against the dollar right now. I know the government wants it weak because it can pay back its debt cheaper with a weaker dollar. All right, so they'll probably be fighting hard to keep it weak. Let's look at some stocks now. BKE, simple play here. BKE, Buckle. We've traded this a lot over the last few months. Had a real nice breakout, real nice up move out of this trading range. Doji'd up here, real nice shooting star doji, closed beneath it. It's really bearish signal usually, but it looks like we want to do a little up move in here. We got a bullish engulfing candle near the bottom of this short decline. Probably see another up move, perhaps even fill this gap before we come down. So that's the Buckle, BKE. That's one to keep an eye on. ARM is another one. Arvin Murator Inc. I don't even know how to say it. Just a range. Just watching this range trade. $8.59 down to $7 is what I'd be looking for. Real simple trade. Nothing fancy. It's a 1.6 volume stock. Not a huge volume stock. CLI. This one interests me. It's a low volume stock, but it looks like it's forming a bit of a head and shoulders here. Left shoulder. You got a head. And then you're going to have a right shoulder here. It's actually a double shoulder here and actually a double shoulder here. I'd be looking for it to retest this line right here. Maybe stall out before breaking it. So keep an eye on that. That's CLI, Mac Cali Realty. Here's another one, DTV. DTV is one I've watched before. Looks like we found some support at 2650. Got a bullish engulfing candle here on this 2650. I'd be looking for this to bounce back off of here to the upside. If this had been a bearish candle breaking through, I would have said, hey, let's look for a down move. But it looks like it held. Looks like it wants to pop up from here. So that's DTV, ticker symbol. NOK. All right. I'm going to finish on time today, doggone it. NOK. Simple. This is a gappy stock. 44.8 million volume on Friday. That's pretty stinking huge. The day before, much bigger. You're looking at 90 million. So this thing's got a lot of volume, trades a lot. Very simple. I left it a really clean chart. Just looking at the moving averages moving, coming together again, which makes sense. But I like how this 200 moving average held here. I like how it looks like it probably held here. A lot of dojis all over this thing, so I don't put tons of stock into them. They seem to do all right. Here's a doji here and here. Here's a hanging man, a inverted hammer in here. So keep an eye on it. I'd be looking for this 200 moving average to perhaps hold and look for a bounce into there on Nokia. That's a little bit trickier type of play, so you got to be quick. I got to be nimble on that one. SLV is iShares, a silver trust. I just like this. It looks like it found some support. It looked like to me it was going to break down and try to fill this gap right into here, but it looks like it's finding support here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. If this breaks, this 17 breaks right here, I'll be looking to fill this gap at least and play it down for 50 cents. If it holds, I'd be looking for perhaps a new high, 1775 plus. Okay, so looking for confirmation either way on this to see if it holds or not. And let's see, I was going to do one more. Let's try this. GSS is the ticker symbol. Real nice, just simple uptrend, bullish engulfing, almost a bullish engulfing, not quite, but it's covered 3/4, so it's I forget what it's called, but it moves off the uptrend line here. It's just a nice strong uptrend with a kind of a hammer type candle, but it's covered over half of the previous candle, so should signify a move up, a change in sentiment to the upside. This thing's been tracking to the upside. I like it because it's only 344 share stocks. So you like to buy the cheaper stuff, there's a lot of us out there. Great safe trade on there. Breaks this downtrend line, then you're out. So that's it. So got lots of earnings. Got Apple coming out on Monday after the close, I think, or did I say Tuesday after close? We got a lot of news coming out. We got a lot of tech coming out. A lot of restaurant stocks coming out next week. We should see a lot of movement. We should see a lot of gaps. All right. Look for the blogs coming up Tuesday and Thursday, perhaps Monday as well. So this will be the AK Option Trader signing off. Trade well and prosper.